Had another conversation with Kurt Warner.
Yeah, the balls that are hard to judge are the ones you got to drop because you don't feel like throwing them soft because you feel like the guy's going to, it'll land in his hands. But if you throw them, like I threw a couple of those, it just carries, man. It's hard to make it come down.
I don't think Kurt was real interested.
I don't think he was either, like what you just said.
McCown to Ian Badejo in the flat. Ian Badejo had it knocked away, and now they are going to rule it down. Good tackle by Shante Spencer. Joe, do you think he was talking about the elevation and how the ball carries?
Mike, I mean, he threw balls all during warm-ups here. You throw the ball around in warm-ups, you get a feel for it. Today's not the first day he's been high with throws. To me, that's just a lame excuse for not being able to put the ball where you want. You can't be afraid to throw it up the field. Now, this one's a little bit tough because he's running, but you see that ball sail. He's had another one on the corner route that he overthrows. He just has to perform his job better without excuses.
McCown straight back to throw. Try it again. Fitzgerald bobbled the ball. They are going to say it's a catch.
Now that's the difference. Evidently, he didn't have a problem judging that one.
Not a bit.
And that's Willie Middlebrook, who was brought up when they lost all of their secondary people. They lost Mike Rump.
You know, you watching Willie Middlebrook, when he turns to look back at the quarterback, he's running back into the playing field and not back to the outside.
It doesn't matter. If you have Larry Fitzgerald, put it in a place where he can go make a play. You don't have to hit him in stride.
Boy, and he did. Fitzgerald in the top 10 in both catches and yards through 3 games. He is just a tremendous receiver and a tremendous young man. Ship didn't have a chance to get outside, and he's spun down by Andre Carter and Marcus Douglas. Carter now playing as a stand-up linebacker and a rush defensive end. Fitzgerald played at Pitt and grew up around the Minnesota Vikings, very familiar with professional football as a kid. His dad is a radio talk show host and a reporter up there, so he was around Denny Green when he was a coach at Minnesota, and he knows how to act as a pro. He's a very humble young man. McCown screen. Ship breaks a tackle. Nowhere else to go as the 49ers swarmed. And again, Andre Carter was back there to get in on the tackle.
Yeah, but Jeff Ulbrich is the guy that makes the play. These linebackers are so active in this 3-4, and they've got pretty good speed, even the inside guys.
Just to give you a perspective, Jeff Ulbrich, number 53, is playing the position that Ray Lewis played in Mike Nolan's defenses a year ago. It's his job to go sideline to sideline, and Andre Carter has been elevated to starter when Jamie Winborn thought he was a starter. Mike Nolan told him he wasn't. He cleaned out his locker. He's not on the roster.
3rd and 12. McCown rifles this one complete inside the 20. Now they rule it incomplete. That ball was behind Fitzgerald. He tried to reach behind him and make the catch. And now Arizona will try for another field goal.
Well, I'll tell you what is really frustrating. Now we know,
Paul, they're not.
Yeah,
I thought they had the punter on there because I saw player and not Rackers.
But you know, you talk about something that's frustrating. The San Francisco 49ers offense, they can't move the ball anywhere. But here's a team that can, Arizona, but yet they can't score.
Rackers for a club record 12th in a row. This from 45 yards. He's already hit from 40. And Rackers perfect again. 2 field goals and 2 defensive touchdowns so far.
It was a day of crowning achievements. Kiwi Scott Dixon was right on target with his first win of the season at the Watkins Glen Inaugural. And with his 5th place finish, England's Dan Weldon clinched the IndyCar Series title that included 6 victories, including the Indy 500. ESPN salutes the race of Scott Dixon and the championship season of Dan Weldon. The drivers have one more go on October 16th. The IndyCar Series on ESPN.
Arizona.
It's 14-6. 49ers over the Cardinals. We're late in the second quarter with 2:44 to go. The offensive star for this ball club so far has been Neil Rackers. 12 field goals. Forget the fact that it's a franchise record. He scored 12 field goals. The offense has scored 1 touchdown. It's nice for Neil Rackers, but you don't want him getting all the points.
It's like when they hit the 20-yard line, the red zone, they find a way to make a mistake. Brian Johnson dropped the ball before. That time the ball's underthrown. The receiver puts it on the ground. They need to come up with some plays down there by individuals.
Rackers will kick off to Maurice Hicks. And just crushes it.
He made that one.
Another
13. He's got 13 now.
They ought to give you at least 1 for that, shouldn't they? Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Kurt Warner out with the groin injury first. What's the update on that?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, it's really one of those injuries. It's day by day, how I respond, how quickly I heal, and pain factor. But right now, I feel really good 1 week later, and I'm optimistic that it's going to be sooner rather than later. How soon that is, I'm not sure yet.
And what's it like being coach for a game?
You know, it's never fun, but you do what you can, and you try to help these guys and cheer them on and get them fired up and help them battle.
How do you relate to the roller coaster career that Josh has had?
You know, it's just one of those things. You kind of just deal with it day by day. And, you know, I think we both understand that God's got a specific plan for us. We take it day by day and, you know, keep pressing on and keep thanking him for the situation that we're in. And, you know, we're going to get this thing turned around and we're going to have some fun this year.
How'd you forge your relationship with Josh even before you got here?
Well, actually, we're represented by the same agent. So we've known each other for a number of years. We've got a lot of the same beliefs, a lot of the same backgrounds. So we've known each other for a long time. And so he was one of the first people that I called when they offered me a chance to come here, just to make sure that he felt good with it. He felt good because I was excited to come here and play with him.
Thanks, Kurt.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Susie, and thanks to Kurt Warner, one of the good guys in this business. And they're just going to let the clock run down. San Francisco does not have to snap it again as we reach the 2-minute warning in Mexico City.
Relive another great moment on ESPN. Could he do it again? Would Adam Vinatieri hit another last-second field goal to nail down another Super Bowl victory for the New England Patriots?
And Vinatieri's kick down the middle. The kick is good.
And the New England Patriots were Super Bowl champions for the second time in 3 years. A celebration of sports memories from around the globe. Great moments on ESPN.
Welcome back to Mexico City. Hope you'll join us a full night of football next Sunday on ESPN, starting at 7:30 Eastern with NFL Prime Time. Then on Sunday Night Football, Carson Palmer and the Bengals go to Jacksonville to take on Byron Leftwich and the Jaguars at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN.
The undefeated Bengals.
The undefeated Bengals. Haven't been able to say that since 1988. Tim Rattay on a roll. Throws to Johnny Morton. Short of hurry-up mode.
Yeah, it is a short of a first down. Now, you got to really be careful of what you're doing. You're in a third down situation, and you still need a whole yard.
Still throw it because you're in the 2 minute.
Four wide receivers. Hetherington is a blocking back for Rattay. And Rattay throws to the sideline. Is it a catch? It is. Johnny Morton again. Funny how they go to the veteran when they need a big catch.
And Johnny Morton has stepped in because Arnez Battle, their starting wide receiver, is down for this ball game. Look at this catch. Left foot down, right foot drag, possession out of bounds.
He's been a good one for a long time. His 12th year out of USC.
What great
3 catches tonight.
What great concentration, though. He knew that when he hit the ground, he had to hold on to it.
San Francisco actually has a chance to cross the 50-yard line, something they have not done on offense tonight. Blitz coming. Little floater to Barlow into Arizona territory to the 45.
Now that's a good read. You get a free runner, and what I mean by free runner, that's a secondary guy that's coming at you that nobody is assigned to block. He's yours. So you make the throw.
If you joined us late, it's been a defensive battle. Here's an update.
McCown de inmediato a pasar. Bajo presión. Suelta el balón. El balón está suelto. Lo recupera San Francisco. Y Vuelve a estar suelto. A ver quién lo quiere. 5 yardas por acarreo en los últimos 2 partidos.
Pierde el balón. Pierde el balón. Se la lleva San Francisco a toda máquina. Va Derrick Johnson, el novato. Les digo que va a ser un partido memorable para Johnson. Pero no sabía que iba a ser de esa manera. Otro touchdown de la defensiva de los 49ers.
Now you're caught up. Any questions?
I tell you what, Mike,
Yes.
couldn't have done that any
Who
better.
knocked the ball loose on the first one?
He told you.
I know, but I just sort of missed that.
Alvaro Martin doing the play-by-play for ESPN Deportes. Sounds fun in Spanish.
It does. That was terrific.
It's fun in English, too. Rattay from the shotgun. Blitz coming. They pick it up. And Rattay throws to the sideline. Caught and then fumbled. And Arizona got it back. Eric Green, the rookie, picked up the fumble.
I'll tell you what, are they saying he was down back here at the 30?
He may have been in contact with Brandon Lloyd.
I don't know if they're going to consider that a catch, because remember, you have to have possession and then make a football move. He almost has this, doesn't really get a chance to make the move, and it's stripped away. I wouldn't be surprised if it is reviewed upstairs and considered an incomplete pass.
The Arizona player was down by contact. Arizona ball, first down.
If it's down by contact, it's not reviewable.
Well, first of
No,
all,
they could go back and say it's incomplete.
That means they couldn't advance it, right.
Right. The return would not be reviewable. But I agree with you, Joe. I don't think that was a legitimate catch.
I think Denny Green is shaking his head, and I got to believe Mike Nolan's going to call timeout so that he can get an idea of what has happened.
Right. He cannot challenge it because it's inside 2 minutes, but he can call a timeout to give the people upstairs a chance to think about it. Now the officials were told will look at it. It's 14-6, 1:08 to go first half, and they'll be deciding whether it was a catch or not. And from that look
There is no timeout charge to San Francisco. We are reviewing the ruling on the field.
We've got a timeout. We'll take it too and check on the challenge when we come back. Ed Hockley reviewing this play. Was it a catch or an incompletion?
Brandon Lloyd goes up to get it. Eric Green gets his hand in before Brandon Lloyd has a chance to make an athletic move, I believe. That would be my assessment of what I just saw on replay.
all right, when he catches the ball, I'll be the other guy. When he catches the ball, he gets both feet down. He turns to try to pull the ball in to make that move, and that's when it's stripped out.
And I think when you said he turns to try and pull the ball in is the telltale sign.
The receiver had both feet clearly on the ground before the ball came loose. Therefore, it was a fumble. There was an Arizona player that came in from out of bounds, but he reestablished with a knee to the ground before he touched the ground. Therefore, it was a legal recovery by Arizona. He was down by contact. Arizona's ball at that spot.
There is some wiggle room in the way that rule is worded. It says both feet down and make a football move. Now, that is subject to certain interpretations. I don't think he made a football move.
I'll give it to you. That interpretation is in the middle of the football field. When it's on the boundaries, it's interpreted differently. And you're right, Mike. I interpret it as a blanket call, which it should be.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but I was right.
You were.
Thank you very much.
Even though your heart wasn't in it.
No, it wasn't.
I just don't understand why possession should be different in the middle of the field and on the sidelines.
Draw play to Ian Badejo. And I don't think Arizona right now is in any great hurry. If they had broken the draw play for 20, then they might try something.
Well, you know what? They're not out of this game. I mean, San Francisco's offense has done nothing. All they need is one play from these guys.
Now McCown, the quick throw to Johnson, and he's up to the 45. That'll be a first down. The clock's still running, and now they'll stop it at 40. Estadio to lead his team to a win over Italy. What a brilliant athlete he was.
He was so much fun to watch.
I had never seen soccer. I had never seen a professional soccer match until I saw him play and went, oh, boy.
He and Maradona.
And when he was playing those, when they had those so many insurmountable one-point leads.
Will you stop?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Some places
but nothing was insurmountable when he was on the field.
Some places 1-0 is very, very good.
It's a win.
I'll tell you, San Francisco's offense would take a point, like in Canada, a single. Kick it in the end zone, get a single. They'd be thrilled.
41 seconds left. They have it out at the 45. McCown, again, a short set. Ian Badejo takes it out of the backfield, then knocked out of bounds at the San Francisco 47 by Salim Rashid. Ian Badejo picked up as a free agent from Baltimore.
Is that a great play? I mean, it really is. Now, you think they picked up 8 yards. They only ran off 5 seconds off the clock. They still have 2 timeouts, and they had a completion, move the ball down the field.
And this is a very good formation for them. Spread out San Francisco. Let your 5 guys up front block 4.
And Rackers has a tremendous leg as a field goal kicker. He had 2 over 50 a week ago. This one's complete to Lee. Lee again fighting for extra yards. He's down to the 25, a gain of 21, and there's still a lot of time left. They used their second timeout with 27 seconds to go.
I hate to be devil's advocate, but they've been down here 3 other times and gotten field goals and a fumble recovery going the other way. Now, Josh McCown, now these are the throws. These are the throws that he can make. Down the field, not having to put a lot of arc on it.
Coming up at the half, the Toyota halftime show with Chris Berman. He'll have the fastest 3 minutes in television, his halftime heroes, and we'll take a look at the Major League Baseball playoff picture as we pick up the action on Tuesday, all coming up on the Toyota halftime show.
I'll tell you one thing. If you look down there at the defensive linemen and linebackers and the offensive line of Arizona, you're going to see some heavy breathing. I tell you, these guys are trying to find all the air they can.
I think the second half, Paul, really becomes a question of will. I don't think you can condition yourself to play at what amounts to 2,000 feet higher than Denver, and we know the problems people have had out there going to Mile High Stadium.
Well, who?
Well, you know.
4 wide receivers. McCown again, short set. Ian Badejo can't hold this one. Wouldn't have gotten more than 3 or 4 yards out of it anyway. And the clock stops at 22. McCown is one of those guys, he gets in rhythm, and he really looks good when he gets there. Right now, he is absolutely throwing it in rhythm.
The way he gets in rhythm is when you spread him out and his offensive line gives him a chance.
Here's the altitude we were talking about. 7,300 feet. 5,200 is where Mile High Stadium is. Phoenix at 1160. San Francisco only 63 feet above sea level.
Where are we?
So that's what they train at it. McCown, a bullet caught at the 17-yard line by Fitzgerald. Clock runs at 13 seconds. Middlebrooks made the tackle, and here's a timeout at 12.
And one of the things that was a change a year ago in the league is coaches can call timeouts now from the sidelines. It doesn't have to come from someone on the field. Paul, you talked about him setting in the pocket. Nice, tight throw. Larry Fitzgerald, what a terrific young man. We mentioned it before. It's yes, sir, no, sir. stays after practice, catches 40 to 50 balls every day after practice. Learned that from Chris Carter when he was a ball boy up in Minnesota, watching the great Chris Carter work on his craft.
They're all out of timeouts now with 12 seconds to go, so it's either the sideline or the end zone, right?
Well, this was a good timeout. The reason I think it was actually an excellent timeout is because it's 3rd and 1. You've got to have the proper play. Now, if that thing isn't open for the touchdown, you don't throw it.
I think you have to throw it in the middle of the football field to one of your inside slot guys.
McCown with time. He'll float this toward the end zone. Fitzgerald!
Let him go up and make a play.
He is special at 6'3", 220.
It's the second time we've seen Larry Fitzgerald go up and just take the ball away.
They're going to go for 2 here. They're going for 2.
That is only the 2nd offensive touchdown this team has scored. This is their 4th game.
And Larry Fitzgerald has both of them on pass receptions.
And I'll tell you, this San Francisco offense has worn their defense out. I mean, these guys can only play so long. They've been on the field for a long time.
Shipp is in as the running back. He's the man in motion. McCown. Flag is down as that ball went through Bolden's hands. That looked like a great throw from McCown. And it looks like Derek Johnson, the defensive back, is slow to get up.
That was
Pass
painful.
interference, offense, number 11. The penalties decline. The try attempt fails.
That's on Fitzgerald. So they don't get the 2, and they'll trail 14-12. Check in with Susie.
You know, guys, he expressed to us, Larry Fitzgerald did, that the biggest adjustment that he had to make last year was outside the white lines. He was disconnected from teammates. Growing up as a ball boy for the Vikings, he saw how veterans viewed a first-round pick, all the money, without proving a thing yet. So he said that compounded with his family's tight ties to Denny Green. He didn't want anyone to think that something had been handed to him, and he was very self-conscious about it. So he dove into that famous work ethic, put it in high gear. He stayed late at the facility. The equipment guys nicknamed him Late Night. Over the summer, though, he started to connect with those teammates, invited him over to the house. Now he's truly enjoying this NFL lifestyle, putting it all together as a pro.
And Susie, Willie Middlebrooks didn't enjoy the fact that he's several inches shorter than Fitzgerald, who just went up and took it away from him.
And Bruce Thornton is the other one. Those 2 guys have been added with the injuries in that secondary. He's exposed both of them.
Arizona to kick off, and Rackers will just unload and drive it through the end zone again. Really admired Larry Fitzgerald when he was in college. He was such a superstar at Pitt. He would make one spectacular catch after another, double and triple team, just roll the ball on the ground to the official, get up, go back to the huddle, and go do it again. Very humble, very nice young man.
You know, I think I really believe that he had a legitimate shot at the Heisman Trophy.
Me too.
I believe that he was the best player in college football. And he's sure proven to be special at this level.
San Francisco lines up to take a knee, and they will. (14-12) at the half as Arizona comes back to make it a ball game. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, you talked to us about exposing weaknesses. What haven't you been able to expose in that Cardinals defense?
Well, obviously, the time of possession is the big thing. So both passing and running game. We're not on sync offensively right now, but I look for that to improve the second half. You know, we're typically a pretty good running team. We showed that last week. I'd like to see that pick up as well.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Our score here at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. The 49ers 14, the Cardinals 12. Let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. And buenas noches, everybody. I hope you enjoy the international flavor from Mexico tonight. The flavor of the New England Patriots, you know what that's been everywhere you want to look, however you add it up, the Super Bowl championships, etc. 21 straight wins at home for the Patriots. And San Diego was coming in, and they hadn't won at a Patriots team since 1970, the Boston Patriots at Harvard Stadium. So as well as the Chargers looked last Sunday night, you figure, but that's why they play the games. Here we go with our fastest 3 minutes. LaDainian Tomlinson. Here's another streak continuing to run 16 straight games with a rushing TD. Look at LT bull his way to the end zone, one of his two. Drew Brees was outstanding. And there goes the Patriots winning streak of 21 in a row, crushed by the Chargers 41-17. Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison twice. Gives Marvin 101 for his career touchdown catches, only the third man ever. Peyton and Marvin tie Steve Young and Jerry Rice with 85 touchdowns between them as the most prolific duo in history. The Colts are 4-0. They win 31-10 at Tennessee. Carson Palmer, Jeremy Johnson. Bengals lead 10-3 over the Texans. Big play by Justin Smith, stripping David Carr. Bengals 4-0 for the first time since '88. They beat Houston 16-10. The Buccaneers also trying to go 4-0 at the new sombrero. Joey Galloway hauls this in from Brian Greasy. Bucs lead the Lions 17-10. At 17-13, Joey Harrington and the Lions think they have a win, but a couple of plays ruled just out of bounds. That's incomplete. 17-13, Tampa Bay, they're 4-0. And the Redskins are 3-0. Matt Hasselbeck to Derek Jackson tied the game for Seattle. Josh Brown to win. Doink! Off the upright from 47 yards out. So we go to overtime when Nick Novak kicks the winner for Washington. They beat Seattle 20-17. They're 3-0. Minnesota was just lambasted in Atlanta, despite the fact that Michael Vick left the game with a sprained right knee ligament. Warwick Dunn and the Falcons ran for close to 300 yards. Falcons beat the Vikes 30-10. Eagles down 24-6 to the Chiefs at Arrowhead second quarter. McNabb to T.O. Touchdown. T.O. caught 11. McNabb a 300-yard day plus. Mike Bartram a touchdown. Tied at 24. McNabb to L.J. Smith. What a comeback! Philly wins at KC 37-31. Jake Plummer for Denver. Twice to tackle eligible one-time tight end Dwayne Carswell. Broncos win at Jacksonville 20-7. Denver is 3-1. So are the New York Football Giants. Eli Manning to Plexico Burris. Touchdown. Again, it's Manning to the tall one, Burris. And the Giants roll 44-24 over the Rams. More on Eli in a moment. The New York Football Jets and Baltimore Ravens. Not a lot of offense here until the defense gets involved. Victor Hobson, if he could have only scored for the Jets, led by Brooke Bollinger. But they tackled at the one. They only got a field goal out of that. Jamal Lewis, a touchdown. Ravens over the Jets, 13-3. Kerry Collins, Raiders, winless. The bomb to Randy Moss, 79 yards. Terrence Newman, good hustle, kept that drive to a field goal. Raiders lead the Cowboys 10-3 at the half. Drew Bledsoe to Terry Glenn, incomplete. There it is. Win for the first time, 19-13. And the Saints, finally, a home game at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Aaron Brooks sees the opening, and the Saints beat the Bills 19-7.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
When we return, the baseball story. Could the Astros make it on the last day again? And could the Red Sox, a day after the Yankees won in their park, could they make the postseason to defend? We'll be back.
This is the Toyota Halftime Show.
Well, it's pretty good that when you look for halftime heroes, you only have to look under one roof, at least where they grew up, and that would be the home of Peyton and Eli Manning, because those two brothers in different places put on one heck of a show Sunday afternoon. What's wrong with the Colts offense? Nothing. Indianapolis is 4-0. They've won the low-scoring games, and Peyton got back to it. 4 touchdown passes. We told you 2 to Marvin Harrison, and Peyton and the Colts roll at Tennessee, 20 of 27 for 4 TDs. Meanwhile, the Giants are the highest scoring team in football. Eli Manning, 4 touchdown passes, almost 300 yards. The Giants are 3 for 3 at home as they score 44 and rolling the Rams. And how about this combination? The brothers Manning, 8 TD passes, and Eli 9. Peyton 6. Monday Night Football on ABC at 9 tomorrow night. Packers at the Panthers. Monday Night Countdown here at ESPN, 7:30 Eastern Time. The Niners lead at Mexico City against Arizona, 14-12. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the baseball, everybody.
We'll see you from the Red Sox-White Sox series on Tuesday.
When you speak of a club's special teams unit, you begin with a place kicker. He boots the ball off a tee from his team's own 30-yard line. The second player you mention is the returner. This is the player receiving the kick on the opposite end of the field. The returner's objective is to run the ball back across the goal line that the kicking team is defending. This is a rare feat to pull off, so establishing field position close to or beyond the 50-yard line is desired and creates a great advantage to his team's offensive unit. If the kick goes through the returning team's end zone or the returner takes a knee in the end zone, his offense receives the ball at their own 20-yard line. If a fair catch is called, the kicking team cannot touch the returner and the ball is downed where the catch is made. If it is kicked out of bounds, the receiving team gets the ball 30 yards from where it was kicked or where the ball went out of bounds, the more advantageous of the two. Once the ball has gone 10 yards or is touched by the receiving team, it's a free ball.
Welcome back to Mexico City. San Francisco's defense got them ahead in this ball game, 14-0, but Arizona quarterback Josh McCown has brought the Cardinals back. Here's what it sounded like from his perspective.
Set up. I need all your heart right here, okay? Hey, go grab the safety. I'm gonna give him a jump ball. If he flies over, be ready, okay? Thank you, God! Yes! I got in the huddle. I said, Quan, go grab the safety and get him over and let me have one-on-one. He did perfect.
You know, I really like that kid. I like his enthusiasm and what he can do athletically.
Well, he said he was going to be more vocal this week. When we had a chance to talk to him, I got him alone a little bit. I said, what are you going to do different? He said, I've been more vocal this week. I'm going to take over. This is my opportunity to try and lead this football team to a win, and that's what I want to try and get.
That was about the only offense we've had in this ball game.
Right? And it's right.
He made a lot of mistakes in the first half, but I'll tell you what, he made up for it at the end.
They'll start this one from 2 yards deep and only take it out to the 15-yard line. The return by Maurice Hicks. There's another flag down. We've had a lot of those in this ball game. Your assessment of the first half. Both of these teams a little bit wounded and a little bit upset because of the start they've had coming into this one.
I think if you're Arizona, you do what got you here. You find a way to get the ball in the hands of Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden. Larry Fitzgerald can out-jump any of the corners that San Francisco has. Just put it in his area. That's all he's done.
And one of the other things that Arizona has to be concerned with, in all 3 games so far, in the opening downs against the defense, they've given up a touchdown on the first half and the second half.
On the first drive.
And on the first drive. Now here they are again. They're on defense. They've got San Francisco back down on about the 8-yard line. And I got to believe it's going through their minds. Can we stop these guys? Because everybody else scored.
I know it's going through Denny Green's mind.
Barlow is the running back. First down from the 7. Rattay with the quick toss to the outside. And it's Brandon Lloyd. And he's not pushed out of bounds till he gets past the 36 for a gain of 29.
Well, you know, I just said that they allow people to score on him in the first drive, in the first of the game, and at the half. And here's Brandon Lloyd. Look at this throw and catch. And they got him one-on-one on the outside. It was just an excellent call.
Eric Green was the man who slipped down.
The young rookie 3rd-round choice out of Virginia Tech. Got to slow down and make sure the guy doesn't do exactly what he did, because if you miss him, he's gone.
Out of the eye this time. Beasley is back in there. And Beasley will make the catch out of the backfield up to the 41-42 yard line. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, I talked to Denny Green about the difference in his defense tonight as opposed to the last 3 losses. He said they're playing together, they're playing aggressive, and they're taking chances. They're not big enough to just hold a team at the line. They have to continue to be aggressive. But as the guys told us yesterday, if the 49ers score on this drive, it's truly demoralizing.
Well, it would be, and Denny is admittedly does not have the patience that he used to as an NFL head coach.
Well, San Francisco started on the 8, and they're at the 42.
Frank Gore was the man in motion, and he'll get the ball, and we'll have back.